In this session, what we are going to see is one of the most important equipment which we use in our daily anesthesia practice, that is endotracheal tube. We are going to see various types of endotracheal tubes which is being commonly used. Of this, what we are going to see is how to present it in the exams. So, we are supposed to know about each and every part of endotracheal tube, but there are some things which is supposed to be very mandatorily known by all anesthesiologists. So, during the exams in the Viva OC, they will be giving the endotracheal tube to the candidate and they will ask us to proceed. So, what are the basic and mandatory things we are supposed to tell? You can see this is the endotracheal tube if it is being given to the candidate. So, this is a 8.5 millimeter internal diameter Portex type cuffed endotracheal tube. Disposable or single use, can be used for oral as well as nasal. This is how first we are supposed to tell about the tube. Now, we will move on to the each and every parts of the endotracheal tube. So, you can see this is the distal end and this is the proximal end. The distal end, you can see the bevel. This is the angulated portion, the tip of the tube, this is the bevel. So, you can see how the bevel is. And one more important part what you are going to see is the one more opening, that is the Murphy's eye. So, this tube is also called as Murphy's tube. Since there is a Murphy's eye, it is also called as Murphy's tube. So, of this bevel, this is the sharp end, this is the non-sharp or atraumatic end. So, it has a purpose which we will discuss later. So, when you see the tube, it is curved, it is preformed curved. Even though it is not a preformed tube, you can see the curve. This is nothing but the radius of curvature of the tube, which is usually around 140 millimeter. So, why it is important? Because this is the position which the patients, which usually normal patient's airway, when the head is kept in neutral position, it will be the curve which is required. That is why this tube is curved and prepared like this. Actually, when initially this endotracheal tube was utilized, the first time when McGill discovered this tube, he accidentally cut a tube which was folded in a circle pattern. It was normal, just hose which he used. After that, he realized there are some advantages. That's why this is being followed traditionally in preparing all endotracheal tubes. So, this is the radius of curvature. These tubes are not very stiff. So, it is flaccid. So, what you are supposed to do is, when you are doing a nasal intubation, it has been recommended in various textbooks that when you are preparing a nasal intubation, you are supposed to cool the tube for a while so that to make it rigid. These are all not rigid tubes. The previously used historical important, that is red rubber tubes, are rigid tubes. So, now as I said, this is the bevel and you can see the Murphy's eye. This is the Murphy's eye. So, why there is a Murphy's eye? It has added advantage. This Murphy's eye is nothing, if there is a block in the tip of the tube. Suppose the tube is placed like this and this bevel gets in connect with the tracheal wall. This bevel, if it gets connect with the tracheal wall, one of the wall, it get occluded. So, it will be difficult, or some mucus plugs get occludes this, it will be difficult for us to deliver the gas. In that case, this Murphy's eye will be utilized and it will be used for venting out the gases. So, this is the main purpose. And one more important thing is, in this tube, it is placed in the other end. If it is placed in the opposite end, during intubation, this is going to give a clear view about the tip of the vocal cord, So, during the intubation purpose, this will be utilized. These are all the two purposes of this Murphy's eye. Now, moving on to the bevel. So, during your, why the bevel is there? For two purposes. Suppose if it is like a tube instead of bevel end, if it is like a cylindrical cut. So, what happens is, if you put the tube inside the trachea, it get occluded. So, if there is a bevel, even if it comes in, suppose if it comes in contact with the tracheal wall like this, it get totally occluded. Suppose if you have a bevel like this, if the tracheal wall will get contact with the tracheal wall, the tip, it will never occlude the tip of the endotracheal tube. That is why we can deliver gas without any problem. That is why the bevel is. So, the bevel has one more important significance, that is, when we are intubating,